surgery is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for the faint-hearted. You need to be a tough cookie to get that done. Like, guys, I was about to start filming, but I just realized I forgot one more thing, so I'll be right back. Hi guys, it's your girl Fatty, and thanks for tuning in for another video. Let's get into it. So guys, as you've seen from the title, today I'm going to be filming my chit chat sit down video in regards to my gastric sleeve surgery. So actually I'm feeling a bit excited about filming this. Earlier on when I was getting ready, I was a little bit nervous and like, oh my god, what am I going to say and all of that. But now I feel like I sort of hyped myself up, and I'm actually excited to like tell you guys about this journey and the experience and the weight loss and the food and the pain and the everything. So yeah, today is probably going to be quite a long video, let's be honest. So get your drink, or if you know you're a bariatric patient, get your protein shake, and let us get into it. So yeah, while I start, I've got my Protein World protein shake. Guys, look at this cup. They sent me this a while ago and I did the unboxing video and showing you guys some of the stuff they got me. But yeah, today I'm drinking the vanilla ice cream flavored protein shake, and then I've popped in some iced coffee just from Lidl because this girl needs to stay hydrated, and also because I need to make sure that I get my protein in now that I'm post-op. But yeah, guys, I don't even know where to begin. I feel like there's so much to tell you guys about, so I have made a couple of notes of all the things that I want to talk about. But I guess this is my first proper sit-down video chatting about the surgery, so there is so much to tell you guys, and I might as well start from the beginning. So, as I have mentioned in some videos, I decided to get the gastric sleeve surgery, or VSG, or VSG, which is vertical sleeve surgery, or I'm trying to think of all the terms that it's known as. So yeah, gastric sleeve or vertical sleeve surgery or VSG, they all mean the same thing. I think one version is like the European term, and then one version is like the American term. But yeah, I'll just be using all these sort of terms. So yeah, I decided to get this surgery done in March, and we're now in August, so I am 5 months post-op. Yeah, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yep, 5 months post-op from the surgery. And I guess what essentially led me to get the surgery is because towards the end of last year, start of this year, I gained a lot of weight. Like, I've always been quite a big girl. I've always been, you know, sort of size 16, if I'm being for real. I've been a size 16 for years now, and I was kind of starting to balloon and get towards the size 18, and it was just really unhealthy. Like, even the last few years I have just been pretty big, let's be honest. If you're looking at the BMI scale, I was like probably morbidly obese. I was definitely obese, but yeah, I just really wasn't in my healthiest shape or form. So I did start hearing about the gastric sleeve surgery last year, or a while back, to be honest. I'd heard about it a while back, but I just never really thought about it. You know, I've seen like the likes of Debbie Crown or some other YouTubers, Breenie Lee, they've done the surgery, so I've always kind of known about it. But you know, when you just, something's at the back of your mind but you don't think twice about it, I just thought, okay, cool, whatever. And then end of last year, when I was sort of just thinking about my future and plans, I was like, girl, you need to make some changes. Like, you're letting yourself go. People told me I'd let myself go as well, and I just knew it as well. But you know, when people say it, it hurts even more, because it's like, you already know. Like, I look at myself in the mirror every single day, multiple times a day, so I absolutely know when I'm gaining weight. You know, when your jeans don't fit anymore, or dress or clothes that you know you fit a while back, they don't fit anymore. You know when you're gaining weight, so it's not as if you're oblivious to it. So yeah, I started getting to a really unhealthy place, and you know, just from life itself, just from not making wise decisions when it came to eating, not exercising, not moving a lot, not being stressed as well, just anxiety, just life, just being an adult. So I decided to go for the surgery. I started doing research probably maybe around this time last year, to be honest. I don't have an exact date, but yeah, I did start doing a lot of research. I started doing, watching videos on TikTok, just getting an understanding of other people's experience of what it was. And I decided for me that I was going to get the surgery. So I made some calls, reached out to some companies around, I think January, around end of last year. And then I booked in January. So I knew I wanted to get this done, and I'd kind of made my mind up. So yeah, I decided to go with a company called Clinichub, who I've heard about for years. I've known, again, lots of celebrities or just people online who have had work done from Clinichub, whether that's like boob jobs or nose jobs or whatever. So Clinichub is a company that I've always known, and I've always kind of trusted them just because they're very much out there. I've heard lots of reviews about them, and yeah, they're just very much well known. So yeah, I made my calls, whatever, and then booked the surgery, and it was scheduled for March the 13th. So yeah, I flew out to Turkey, flew out to Istanbul, and yeah, had my operation done. I think so. I flew out on a Sunday and then had the operation on the Monday, and then came back home on the Thursday. And I decided to go by myself. So I did tell my friends and family, but I only told them about a month before the surgery. So it wasn't because I didn't want them to know, but I wanted to make this decision by myself and for myself. I didn't want to be swayed by anyone's opinions, and of course people would be scared, and people have a sort of stigma about getting work done in Turkey, which is fair. You know what, getting surgery done is risky anywhere, whether it's Turkey, whether it's Spain, whether it's the UK. Getting surgery is a major thing, and getting something like a gastric sleeve, it's major surgery. Do you know what I mean? It's not a small minor thing. So I just wanted to think for myself and make the decision by myself without being swayed. So yeah, I did decide to tell people a few weeks before I went, but I was fine going by myself, to be honest. I've always been somebody who's been very independent, and I think it's just because I'm the oldest sister in the family. I've got brothers who are a lot younger than me, and I've just always sort of been somebody who's independent. Like I'm fine doing things by myself. I don't mind living on my own, being, guys, I'm so gassy, oh god. I don't mind like living on my own. I don't mind taking care of myself. Like I'm more than happy to do things on my own. So I am just very independent, and the idea of going to Turkey by myself, yes, it was a little bit scary, but it wasn't so scary that I was put off. So yeah, that was absolutely fine. Flew out to Turkey, and I did actually meet other people, other women. It was all women actually. Oh no, there was one guy actually. I was gonna say it was funny that all the people who were getting the surgery done around the same time as me were women, but no, there was one guy in our group. But anyway, yeah, there were other people who were traveling on their own. So once I got there, it was kind of like, oh, do you know what? Like it's absolutely fine. So yeah. Guys, don't mind me, I keep checking over to the right because the camera battery is like halfway, so I don't want it to suddenly stop filming. But anyway, so yeah, in terms of the surgery itself, I paid £1,650, I'm sure. Yeah, 1,650, and that included a 4-night stay in Turkey. So no, 5-night stay, 4 or 5 night stay. So like I said, I flew out on the Sunday and then came home on the Thursday. So 5 days, 4 nights, 5 days. I didn't stay in a hotel. I just went for the package, the hospital package, that was it. And I will say, when I was coming back home, I had been concerned, like, would I be okay? Would I be fine, like, traveling by myself? But I was absolutely fine. Like, by the time Thursday came, like, I was able to get myself up. I could walk. I could tie my shoelaces. I could carry my own bags. Like, this girl was independent. She could do everything by herself. So if you are, if you are gonna be going away and you're only spending 4 days or 5 days there and you're by yourself, you will be absolutely fine. Then again, in saying that, some people are different. Some people's healing time is a lot more different. But for me, my healing was very, very good. Once I came back to the UK, I had catch ups with like GPs and doctors here in the UK, and they were like really surprised how good I was like feeling. I remember I had a call with a GP, like a video call with a GP 2 weeks after the surgery, and he was like, you look great for somebody who just had major surgery. I don't think it was even 2 weeks since the operation, but yeah, generally everything was good. The doctors had done all my checks before I got operated on, so everything was healthy and signed off. And then yeah, I came back to the UK, got all my usual tests done. Everything was good, everything was signed off, so that was great. So yeah, I guess the process of it all. So the process really, so what I did was I reached out to Clinichub after seeing some ads and whatever online, and then one of their representatives got in touch with me, and then we just started communicating. And you know, they ask all the important questions like your health, your weight, your history, like your medical history, all that type of stuff. So if you do find that, you know, maybe you're speaking to a clinic where they're not asking you those things, I would maybe think twice. They'll check like my weight and things like that. So yeah, they ask all the questions that they need to know, and then they send you, I think, like a consultation, I guess, and then they speak to the doctors or whatever. They're like, yeah, no, you're eligible for the surgery, and then you can then pay your deposit and then start booking your flights, and then you start speaking to people as in, like, you know, the nutritionist, the doctors. There's so many people that I spoke to. There was like, I don't even know who they were, but there's lots of people that are involved. So you're not speaking to like one person, you are speaking to like, I don't know, dietitians and people with all these different titles. So yeah, I spoke to all of them and then got sorted, and then yeah, had the surgery. Just before you get the surgery, you need to follow like a pre-op liver reduction diet. So for me, I only had to do it for 3 days. So I guess when it comes to the surgery, the bigger you are. Oh, right, let me change my battery, guys. Right, we are back. Battery's changed. So yeah, I was saying, also apologies if this video is just, if it's rambling and there's so much going on. I just feel like I want to answer as many questions that I had before the surgery and just give as much information as possible. I'm just thinking of, you know, what I would have wanted to hear when I was researching the surgery and before I'd done it. So yeah, I'm just throwing all the information out there just to help the next person out. But yeah, I was just saying about the liver reduction diet. So when it comes to the surgery, not everybody gets the same amount of stomach cut out. So essentially gastric sleeve, I think I already said this, but maybe I didn't. Gastric sleeve surgery is when they cut out up to 80% or up to 85% of your stomach, and essentially so that you can eat less food and therefore you lose weight, and you lose weight drastically. So like I said, it's not for anybody. Not anybody will qualify for this surgery. You do need to meet certain requirements. You need to have a certain BMI or be above a certain weight. And you know, if you're not, like, just do general research, you'll find out there's a sort of general mark that you need to sort of meet in order to be eligible for the surgery. So if you're speaking to a clinic and, you know, if someone else is saying you're not eligible for that surgery but this clinic is saying you are, it's maybe worth looking into that more, because there are certain requirements. Like, I think your BMI does need to be above at least 30 or 35. So if your BMI is sitting at 28 or 29 and the clinic's like, yes, we'll take you, I don't know about that. But yeah, so I had to do a liver reduction diet, and I think everybody, okay, actually I don't know. I was gonna say I think everybody has to do it, but I don't know if everybody does. But from all the people that I spoke to in my clinic at Clinichub, we all had to do it, but we had to do it for different amounts of days. So it sort of depends on your weight. So the bigger you are, the longer you need to do the diet. And the reason that they do this is so that your stomach is a little bit smaller, so that it's easier for the surgeon to operate, and yeah, just to make it safe. So for me, even though I was like obese and like above, like my BMI was like above like above 30 or whatever it was, like I was eligible for the surgery, I was more like just meeting the requirement, if that makes sense. So let's say the minimum BMI is 35. I can't remember the exact numbers, but let's just say that the minimum BMI was 35. Mine was like 35 or like 35.1 or something like that. So I just qualified. So I was on like the smaller side of the gastric sleeve requirements, I guess. So therefore I only had to do the liver reduction diet for 3 days, which was, I think you couldn't eat any solid food, and you couldn't like drink like, you know, sugary drinks or like coffees with like milk, things like that. It had to be a pretty clear diet and like a light diet. Whereas other people that I spoke to, they did it for like 7 days or 10 days. Some people did it for like a month. So I honestly don't know how they did it, because I struggled doing it for 3 days. Like, that was so hard. So I can't imagine how other people did it for a longer time. But I think I have heard other surgeons who don't do it, because I've seen TikTok videos where people are like eating my last meal before gastric sleeve, and they're in the hospital eating this food. And I'm thinking, when I was in hospital, I couldn't eat anything. I could only have liquids, because I think the night before the surgery, just like a certain cut-off time after like 11 or midnight, you cannot have food or even water. I don't think you could have water anymore. So there's different techniques for different surgeons, but my surgeon said I couldn't eat a couple of hours. I think it was 12 hours before the surgery or whatever. So yeah, I had to cut food out. So yeah, I did the liver reduction diet, and then guys, this bit. Right, so I filmed a video when I was in Turkey. Like, I filmed a bit of the process from, I think, just before the day of the surgery, and then maybe either on the day of the surgery or after the surgery. So I will put that video out, and I was looking rough. That's when like my body was swollen. I had the tubes coming out of my stomach with the blood, and like it was the bit straight after the surgery. So it was just to show you guys a bit more of the journey. So I will film that, but I will say the night before the surgery was rough, you guys. Oh, it was tough. So we all had to take laxatives. Obviously you need to clear your stomach for the surgery, and boy, oh boy, I can't remember if I filmed this bit, but there's a bit like the night before the surgery where, you know, I was literally like in sweats, because I've never taken laxatives before, and I would never do it again. Like, that part for me was probably the worst. Like, this was like it was painful. And bear in mind, this is detoxing my body with barely anything in my system, so I can only imagine how much worse it would have been had I had food in my body. But guys, that laxative bit was, oh, it was so bad. We had to take this laxative, and it was like brown, and I'm probably going into so much detail, but anyway, it was just really nasty. It was really, really nasty, and I did not enjoy that at all. I was so glad once everything was out my system, and that was probably one of the hardest parts, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, on the day of the surgery, they woke me up quite early. So they woke me up, I think, around 7 a.m. But so when I arrived in Turkey, I got there quite late, and they did some tests. I paid the rest of the deposit, met with some of the other. Did I meet the other patients? No, I don't think I met the other patients, but I spoke to like a coordinator and like the nurses and stuff. So I got to speak to people, and yeah, I guess just sort of realized that, you know, this is really happening, there's no going back, all that stuff. And then the next morning they came and woke me up pretty early. We did more tests, all the testing and the doctors and everything. It was really good, like a good experience. Like, you know, the doctors were friendly, and it seemed like they were doing a thorough job. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if they were missing out things or what. I don't know, but they seemed to be doing all the right things. And yeah, they did all the good stuff, signed me off, said some prayers, and then like one doctor was like, I think he said something like, I don't know, inshallah or something, like it was like an Islamic term. I think it was basically like God be with you, because I'm guessing he was Muslim, because I think Turkey might be a Muslim country. But yeah, whatever he said, it was like a sort of blessing anyway. So I just thought, oh, that's really nice. Like, that's good. And then yeah, I had my surgery quite early in the day, so I had I think it was maybe around 8 or 9 a.m. or something like that, but it just all happened so fast. So there is moments where there are like language barriers. Some of the nurses don't speak the best English. I also don't speak any Turkish, so there was a bit of like, you know, you just have to communicate with like pointing or like using certain words. But when they came to get me for the surgery, it was really quick. They just came into my room and then they were like, you know, change into this and like put these compression socks on. I think I still have them somewhere. And then I was kind of like, I don't know what's going on, because no one had told me the schedule, so I didn't know what time my surgery was going to be. But I can't remember if they told me I was going to be second or if I ended up realizing it, but I was honestly praying that I would be one of the earlier ones, because I didn't want to be waiting about all day, because I'd be getting anxious and like stressed out. But God answered my prayer, and I was the second person out of our group of 6 to get my surgery done. So I didn't even have to wait, because by the time I went upstairs, I think the girl who was before me, she was either just finished or just coming out. So it was like I barely had to wait, which was amazing. And yeah, they wheeled me up to the room, and I just remember being so cold, because yeah, the room was just freezing cold, and there were different patients. I think there was a patient who was, maybe she was getting a C-section, I don't know. And then I just saw one of the other girls who was in the group who I'd become friendly with. She got her surgery, and then I went in. I met with the general anesthesian. I think that's their title. The person who gives you the anesthetic, if that's what it's called. But yeah, the person who puts you to sleep, basically. So he came and spoke to me just before I went in, and then I just remember being in the room and he was just speaking to me, you know, like sort of distracting me with conversation, asking me what I do, all that stuff. And then I just remembered like falling asleep. So we were having a conversation. I think he was like, oh, so you know, you work in digital marketing or whatever, and I was like, yeah, social media, I'm on social media all the time. And then I just remember falling asleep, and then when I woke up, I think I was now in the lift or in the hot corridor going back down to my room, and I woke up really cold. And guys, this is when it gets real. When I woke up, the pain was real. Like I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not gonna play it down. Surgery is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for the faint-hearted. You need to be a tough cookie to get that done. Like, guys, I honestly don't know how people do like C-sections or boob jobs or whatever, because this surgery was painful. I will say I'm someone who can't handle pain that much, but this was painful. I low-key felt like I'd been hit by a bus. I'm gonna keep it real, because I don't want anybody going into this surgery thinking it's pain-free, it's so easy, it's the easy way out. It is not the easy way out. It is extremely painful. So when I woke up, like I said, I just felt like I'd been hit by a bus, and I don't know if they'd given me painkillers at that point. I assume they probably hadn't, because they probably need you to wake up first so that they can make sure you're okay, and then I guess see how much your pain you're in, because I assume it would probably be worrying if you woke up and you were not in pain or you can feel anything, because that would probably imply that you were maybe paralyzed, which is obviously not what anybody wants. So yeah, they wheeled me back to my room, and then I was in pain, and then I remember just ringing this little bell next to my bed, and I was like, nurse, I need the painkillers. So I think she gave me morphine, or I don't know what she gave me. I think it was I'm not saying I don't know because I didn't ask, I genuinely don't remember. But I think it might have been morphine. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, they gave me some of that, and then I just remember just laying there, and I was like, God, please let me fall asleep, because it was really painful. Like, it was like my stomach just felt so beat up and sore and bruised and banged up, and it was aching. Like it was aching. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say it was an 11, like, if I'm being for real. I could probably cry thinking about the pain right now. But yeah, no, it was painful. And then yeah, I was like, I think in that moment I did like kind of regret it, because I was like, wow. And I was also just thinking, it's really sad that I've had to go to this extreme pain to be able to lose weight. But yeah, that's just all the things that go through your head at that moment, because you're like, is it really worth it? Is anything in life really worth this amount of pain? And now I can say yes, it was. But that's why I say it's not an easy decision. you really need to do your research. You really need to think, if you're doing this, like, you really need to be changing your life. Like, you need to be like, you need this is an extreme. Getting surgery is an extreme, and you know, it's not a light decision. So I do think some people need surgery, some people can't help themselves, some people like me, we struggle, and it is what it is, but it is just an extreme option, and some people need that extreme option. So yeah, just definitely think twice before you go through with it. But yeah, eventually I did fall asleep, and then I woke up and I was like less in pain. I think before I fell asleep, I just texted my family just to let them know that I was like okay and alive, because obviously they were like worried about me because they were in the UK and I was in Turkey. So I just made sure I texted my friends, family, let them know I was good, and then I was like, now I can rest easy, because I know that they know that I'm fine, because I think they would be stressed out not hearing anything. Like, the last message they got was, I'm going in for surgery now, and then, you know, they'll probably have been waiting anxiously for a response. So yeah, the surgery itself I think was quite quick. It was probably done in like an hour, I think, and this is just again from reading when I sent my messages, because before I went in for the surgery I had time to quickly message my family and be like, I think I'm going in now, and then I messaged them afterwards when I was out, just to, you know, for me, I just wanted to keep reassuring them that I was okay and just communicate. So I did that, and then fell asleep, and then rested for a bit. So yeah, after the surgery, so I guess on day one, when I did wake up again, I just felt tired. I felt, once the pain medication started kicking in, I felt less in pain, but I wasn't really doing, there's not much you can do because you've just been operated on. Again, the recovery process is different for different people. So I've been keeping up with Rochelle's journey. Rochelle from The Apprentice, if anybody watched it last year, she got the gastric sleeve done a few months ago, and she was documenting her journey on TikTok and Instagram. So I was keeping up with that, because now that I've had this surgery, I'm so interested and invested in seeing other people's journeys, and everybody's journey is so different. But yeah, Rochelle posted her video, and I think she was literally like walking about a couple of hours after surgery, whereas for me, I just felt really tired. I did not want to walk about. I had no energy. Like I said, I was sore. So for me, I just rested. So I can't remember if I actually walked about on that first day. I think I just sort of slept. And then the next day, the pain had gone down drastically. Like, that's the thing. The first day, the pain is extreme for me. It was for me, rather. For some people, it's not. But for me, it was. But by day 2, the pain had, like, minimized, if that even is the right word. The pain had cut down, I'd probably say in half, to be honest, because I did start going for like I was able to go for a little walk, as in along the corridor and just about around my room, because they really encourage that. So once you've had the surgery, they do want you to like get up and move about and get the blood flowing. The last thing they want you to do is be laying in bed all day. So the nurses will come and take you for short walks, and there was this one nurse who like came and got me. She was so lovely, and she would just walk me to the corridor, and boy, that little walk took a lot of energy. Guys, getting out of that bed, yo, it was tiring. It was so tiring. And when I say this short walk was like, I don't even know, like, it's not even 100 meters. Like, I don't know how long it was. It was a short walk, but it is exhausting. Anything was exhausting. Picking up your phone was exhausting. Talking was exhausting. It was just exhausting. Your body is just tired, and obviously it's understandable because you've had major surgery. But yeah, I did a few walks, and then the next day, again, the pain had reduced a lot. So again, I was able to start walking about. One of the hardest things from the first day actually was that I couldn't like drink anything. So I didn't feel hungry, because obviously your body's been fighting for its life. So yeah, I didn't feel hunger, but I was thirsty, and you can't drink for, I can't remember if it's like 24 or 48 hours, because when they cut your stomach, they like staple it shut, so there's something could leak, so they don't want you to drink. So that was really, really hard. And then when they finally gave me the go ahead to have a sip of water, it was the best sip of water I ever had in my life. Guys, it was literally only 2 sips, and it was like a bottle that's like, you know those little bottles, it's not even 500 ml, it's like 300, I think. Yeah, it was amazing. I couldn't even finish one of them. Like when I first had the surgery, your stomach can hardly hold anything. But yeah, I had a few sips and it was like water from heaven. It was amazing. And then I think by day 3 or day 4, that's when I was able to start drinking more. Again, I couldn't finish the full bottle of water, and they wanted you to drink like I think like 4 or 6 of those. They wanted you to drink quite a lot, which it just seems impossible, and it was impossible. I don't know if anybody managed it, but yeah, it felt good having the water. And then after a few days, I could have protein shakes. So my dietitian did come along, and she gave me all my protein shakes and all the stuff that I needed to take home with me. So they gave me a ton of stuff. They gave me protein powders. They gave me vitamins. They gave me, also had to take like medication and things, so I got given blood thinners, painkillers, stomach protectors. Those are the main things that I had to make sure I was having regularly after the surgery. So yeah, if you are looking into that and packing, just make sure that, you know, when you're packing from the UK to go to Turkey, leave space in your bag, because you will need to bring things home. These are essentials. You probably can buy them in the UK, but they will give you those, so you do need space for them. So I actually had like all my stuff coming home in like this Clinichub bag, and my the BARIATRIC bag. So yeah, they gave me like a protein shaker as well. So I had quite a lot of stuff, and yeah, I'll show you guys some of those things. But I'm trying to think. So in terms of like other food related stuff, so yeah, after the surgery, I had to stick to a liquid diet for, I want to say, 2 weeks. And this was like complete liquid, so it wasn't just like, you know, tea, coffee. I can even have coffee actually. So it was like water, teas, protein shakes, maybe like yogurt drinks, that kind of thing. And then after the 2 weeks, I was then able to have soft food. So I guess like, I think I could have yogurt in the first part, but then yeah, I could then have in the first like 2 weeks, and then I could have like eggs, or, you know, mashed potatoes, or just soft food, like baby kind of food. Guys, those 2 weeks were tough. Like, I think in my head, I thought, once I have the surgery, I'm not going to be tempted with food. I'm not going to want to eat anything. Life is going to be cushy. No, it's not. You will still be tempted. You will still want to eat your food. Like 90% of people, their eating habits are not going to leave just because they have the surgery. You are a human, and you're still going to want to enjoy your food. There are some people who after the surgery, they're like, nope, I don't want to eat anything unhealthy. My life has changed, and that's amazing for them. But for most of us, you still will face temptations. So the first few days when hunger starts kicking in, it does get tough, because obviously, you know, you're living with your family. Like, I'm with my family, so they're out here eating their amazing smelling sadza and oxtail, and their rice and stew and whatever else they're having. And, you know, first few days you're like fine, because you still feel a bit like achy and sore, and you're not that hungry. But after a few days, that food starts smelling good, and you're like, damn, I wish I could eat. But you absolutely can't eat it. Like, I've heard stories of people who like were like sick, or, you know, their stomach exploded, or, this is extremes, but, you know, people didn't follow the rules and bad things happened. So yeah, I was quite scared, so I pretty much stuck to liquid diet. I maybe did have like a few like things that maybe I shouldn't have had, like maybe like a protein pudding, or like, I don't know, things that were kind of, I didn't go crazy and eat like rice or anything that was solid, but I think I had maybe things like soft food maybe a few days early, or like a small whatever, I can't remember. But yeah, it was hard, because, you know, food smells good, people are enjoying, but all you can have is your protein shakes and your protein yogurt and your tea and your this and that. And after a while, those things get tiring. After a while, you don't want to see another protein shake. After a while, you don't want to see a protein pudding or protein or whatever. You want normal food. So I missed my food, and I remember once I hit like day 14 or whatever, the first food I had was, of course, eggs. Guys, you know I love eggs. So I think I just made like an omelette or something, and it was the best tasting omelette ever. um, I don't think I managed to finish it all, so which was just mind blowing because like the old me would have eaten like 3 eggs on toast and I would have been loving life. This light is going crazy. But yeah, the old me would have just had like 3 eggs on toast and I would have been good. But now it's like suddenly I can only eat 1 egg and I just feel full. But yeah, that was really crazy. But now I can eat like 2 eggs, which is amazing. And yeah, like things are getting back to normal, so I am feeling happier and healthier. So in terms of like eating, I eat like maybe 1,000 calories to about 1,500, so I can eat like most food. If I was trying to eat like a burger, depending on how hungry it is, how hungry I am, sorry, and depending on the day, some days I can eat more, some days I can eat less. So there's times where like I went to Burger King with my friends and I ate a burger and I was fine. It was just like I don't know, whatever, a plain burger. It wasn't like a big like double burger or anything like that. It was just like a plain junior burger and I managed to finish it all. But then other days I might not manage to eat that, so it totally changes. Like not every day is the same, but you just have to listen to your body, and you know, when you need a bit more food you eat a bit more food, and when you need a bit less food you eat a bit less food. But the main thing is I'm having to prioritize protein, hence why I'm drinking my protein shakes. I've got my protein pudding here. Like everything is protein heavy. I probably will do like a video on what I eat in a day, some of the protein food I'm having, what I'm buying, all that stuff, just to give you guys a bit more insight. But yeah, everything that I'm eating, for the most part, I'm trying to prioritize protein. There are some days where I'm not prioritizing protein. Some days I'm just eating kind of whatever I want to eat, and it is what it is. So yeah, overall I am happy with like the results so far. I'm still on my journey, so I've not reached my goal weight yet, but I'm hoping to reach my goal weight by the end of the year. I don't know if I'm repeating myself because I just filmed another video just before this kind of touching on the surgery. So yeah, I can't remember what certain things, if I've said them in this video or in the last video. But yeah, bear with me if I am repeating myself. So yeah, I'm still on my journey. I'm hoping to reach my goal weight by the end of the year, so I'm gonna focus on increasing my protein intake daily. I'm gonna work on exercising more. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm trying to walk 10,000 miles as much 10,000 miles, oh my god, 10,000 steps a day as often as possible. I do kind of want to get into jogging a little bit more. Like I just feel good when I'm running, like, you know, when I can do these things that I couldn't do in the past. So I do want to be more active and like move my body around, because like I said, I'm still young, so I do want to prioritize just doing things that are a bit more active. And really I'm just gonna need to work on my eating just to make sure I'm getting closer to my target. And yeah, once I do sort of reach my goal weight, I will absolutely update you guys. I will show you the pictures, the videos, the ins and outs, and pretty much everything. I will have you guys on the journey. And also I have a holiday booked for the start of next year, so I really want to feel good and feel happy and put on clothes that I haven't worn before. So that is the goal. But yeah, it has been an experience. It has been a journey, and I don't regret it. There's definitely times during the process where you're like, I wish I hadn't done this, but overall I don't regret it. Like now that I see myself and see the transformation, I'm so glad I did it. And I don't think there's many people who would say they regret doing the surgery. If anything, a lot of people say they regret not doing it sooner, and I totally agree with that. I can't lie, I probably wish I had done it sooner, because I would have loved to have seen these changes a lot earlier so that I could have just enjoyed my life even more. But everything happens at the right time, so it is what it is. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions on this journey, on this experience, on the surgery, on any questions off before the operation, after the operation, whatever, let me know in the comments below, because it's like I said, I just want to make this video as informative as possible. I'm filming this video in the sense of what would I have wanted to have seen and known, and what questions did I have before I went through with the surgery. So I'm answering it as what me would have wanted this time last year. So yeah, any questions you have, slide in my DMs if you want, or leave it in the comments below, and I will continue to film more content and just give you guys more insight into this, into the bariatric lifestyle, into the gastric sleeve journey. And yeah, let's get our bodies in the best place that they can be, whatever it takes, whether that's naturally or with some extra help. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.